Good afternoon. We are World Vision International and we want to extend our fight against poverty to Venezuela. Unfortunately, we don't have staff there at the moment, but our correspondent in the country will tell us a bit more about the situation.
Thank you, Marie. Over the past 3 years, Venezuela has faced a growing political and economic crisis. President Maduro leads the Supreme Court while opposition controls parliament, and the two parties are at odds with one another. The Venezuelan economy relies on oil exportation, so the drop in oil prices since 2014 has diminished their income, which has reduced their import capacity and led to a severe shortage of necessary goods, as well as inflation. Protests are prevalent and the incidents of looting are escalating, causing general insecurity in Venezuela at this time.
Can World Vision help?
There's significant need for international assistance, with the primary areas being in food, nutrition, and health. The severe shortage has made food too expensive for most people, and malnutrition rates are increasing nationwide. Hospitals aren't functioning, and there's an immense shortage of medicines and vaccines, with previously eradicated diseases reappearing. The biggest constraint to work in Venezuela at this time is the limited access granted by the government and general insecurity. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay. The government's refusal to acknowledge the full scope of the humanitarian crisis in Venezuela has prevented any physical presence of World Vision in the country and thousands of people from receiving assistance. But things seem to have changed in the 2 last months as the government finally called for help at the United Nations. World Vision International therefore wants to take this opportunity to act now and initiate the until now non-existent supply chain in the country. Such a supply chain is essential to deliver the aid that is drastically needed to the beneficiaries. For that, we ask for funding to renovate and repurpose a pre-selected abandoned building in Caracas area that will play the role of central warehouse, 2 sets of mobile storage units that will be positioned in the states of Zulia and Carabobo and play the role of decentralized warehouses. And we also want to invest in training of local staff to build an effective supply chain in the country.
The central warehouse in Los Teques aims to receive, label, store and ship high volume of hospital supplies. There are 3 main benefits of having this central warehouse. One is lower operation costs. World Vision will have fewer buildings to rent, which means we'll have less utility expenses and require fewer workers. Secondly, the central warehouse enables lower inbound distribution costs, because we will receive larger shipments from the suppliers to a single location versus receiving multiple shipments to each location. Finally, it lowers the safety stock in both decentralized warehouses, since the safety stock will be held mainly in the central warehouse. This warehouse is classified as a quick rotation warehouse, which means we will store high demand of goods that move in and out on a daily basis. For that reason, we decided to locate this warehouse in Los Teques, which is the capital city of the Venezuelan state of Miranda, which is also close to the capital city of Caracas. Some other factors were taken into account when choosing this location. Los Teques is located between 2 main ports, Puerto Cabello and La Guarida. It is also close to the main airport in Caracas. It has good connections with the major international highway, Colombian Caribbean Highway. It has good connections with both decentralized warehouses due to the proximity with main national highways. And finally, the prices of utilities is around half of the cost in Caracas. For this, World Vision needs $410,000, which includes renovating an existing warehouse in Los Teques, warehouse security, dynamic and static equipment for the warehouse and staff wages.
The extent of the crisis and the rapid deterioration of living conditions make it necessary to have additional stocks in areas other than only the capital. These 2 states are geographically dispersed, which would ensure good coverage, and they are also among the most populated states in Venezuela. We also talk about rural areas with roads in poor condition. It's obviously difficult for the population to live and access the aid, so the aid has to come closer to the population. Decentralized warehouses indeed have the advantage to reach more easily and quickly, beneficiaries who live in remote areas. The risk of looting, which is quite common in the country, also reinforced the need to have not only one central warehouse with all the supplies, but rather more disseminated resources. Finally, the mobility of the storage units allow great capacity of adaptations to security constraints, for example. For all of this, we would require the amount of $89,000, which include 2 sets of mobile storage units of 10 meters per 24 and the wages for 20 local staff.
Training local staff maximizes the benefit of your donation. To rely on international staff incurs additional costs as turnover of those staff is higher than those for international staff, also introducing inconsistencies along the supply chain. The capacity for communication patterns to develop along the chain is reduced, and minor adjustments by each manager hinders the opportunity to further refine the efficiency of the chain. Furthermore, local staff have a long-term commitment to the community, so will be present for a longer duration of time. Having locally trained staff encourages vertical collaboration between the centralized and decentralized warehouses, suppliers, as well as the assessment team. It also encourages horizontal collaboration between organizations that are present in Venezuela. This collaboration supports innovation in our supply chain, further improving our product flow. Not only would our operations be improved, but livelihoods would be supported, further increasing access to food and health security. Having locally trained staff would minimize efficiency and create space for collaboration while also improving the self-reliance of the community in a context where poverty rates are on the rise. In order to provide all this training, we would require an investment of $15,000.
So for this central warehouse, these 2 decentralized warehouses, and our program of training, we would require the total amount of $514,000. People from Venezuela need our help and your commitment. Thank you.